I think Inventure is a school with a lot of heart. And you can see that in everything that we do, in our interactions with our students, with each other, with faculty, with parents, with our support staff. So I think in the same way that we show a lot of heart, demonstrate a lot of heart in our interactions with each other and the kind of opportunities that we provide for our community members, we also show the same heart and the same courage and to have the confidence to say that, hey, I'm willing to share my best practices in the hope that some other school can benefit from it, another community can benefit from it, and in the same way that we can learn from them. You know, we're not arrogant to believe that we know it all. We're very fortunate that we have a team which is willing to push the envelope, to be innovative.
Hi, I'm Malti Ananta, and the value I most value is integrity.
This is Sai from Vallistis International School, and the value I identify with the most is clear communication.
I'm Meenakshi Langovan from Inventure Academy, and the value I identify with most is nurturing individuality and teamwork.
I'm Rekha from Aditi, and the value I identify is, I think, strong work ethics.
Vansh from an organization called Mindler, and the value I identify the most with is curiosity.
Hi, I'm Bobby, and I'm from the University of Pennsylvania Graduate School of Education, and the value I identify with most is empathy, but the passion with which you do it.
Hi, I'm Gunmeet Bindra from the Delhi College Indore, and the value I identify the most with is honesty, and honesty not in its narrow terms of integrity or anything, honesty in a larger perspective, honesty of purpose, honesty in relationships, Hindi mein jisko kehte hain imandari.
Hi, I'm Geeta from Bangalore International School, and the value I identify most is integrity.
I'm Jenny Zaff, and I'm from the University of Pennsylvania Graduate School of Education, and it's hard to top this list, but I would add inclusive leadership.
Geeta from Malayaditi, Bangalore. I want to say two values, okay? One is passion for what we do as educators, and the second is nurturing each and every child or student that we come across.
Hi, I'm Nurain. The value for me, I would say, that resonates the most is driving change, particularly when people say it's not possible.
I'm Soumya, I'm with Inventure Academy, and the value I identify most with is excellence.
I'm a huge believer in the power of informal alliances where people with common interests, passions, and aspirations come together behind a unified purpose. And I'm really happy to have found all of you as fellow journeymen.
And how exciting it is to hear of these innovations within education and also government supported. So as Bobby said before, so often when we travel and we talk to different communities of practice about innovators, we hear innovation often associated with technology, with business, with engineering, with other areas, but how often do we hear of innovation and innovative leaders and catalysts as within our schools and our children?
Use this to illustrate what I believe is a precursor to innovation, and that is the creation of a new conceptual framework. And if we have a look at the conversations we've been having so far this morning, it's about exploring what we understand by schooling, by formal education. What do we want education to do? All of these are questions that are challenging our current conceptual understanding. And out of that change, then comes the opportunities for innovation. And that, I feel, is why we're here today.
You know, a lot of schools, we have that tendency that you get competitive with each other. So it's very important to collaborate and teach each other. Look, this is what we are doing. Can you learn something? or let us all go together and learn something new. That's amazing.
My mind races far ahead of my team, so sometimes I feel non-acceptance, and I feel it's too early to pitch it to them. But one of my team members told me that it's no point, and because the results will come only when the team is ready, so it's better to wait.
For me, one of the key highlights of this morning would be how each leader that was here was so aware of their own strengths, their weaknesses, and of their teams. And they knew exactly how to bring that together. I think that is a big asset to have in a leader.
Learning is a process. Actually, it's not a book can give you experience of different leaders, we can get it. So I'm getting something holding in my hand, I'm going to implement wherever I am. That's what.
How do we shape up, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, because I think these sessions will definitely be a proper reflective forum for leaders, and understand where they are presently.
Why do we need to go to school at all? Why do we need an education? What is the purpose of life?
We talk a lot about innovation and we talk a lot about entrepreneurship, but what we forget is that we need to bring in this innovation and entrepreneurship while learning is happening. A lot of conferences that I've gone in for entrepreneurship address the issue post-school, and they somehow link it to startups and all of that. But today my purpose was to see how entrepreneurial mindset and innovation can be brought in the classrooms, and this is way beyond pedagogy, and I got my answers.
I found that students who could not sit in the classroom and understand mathematics, when I took them out, and I don't know mathematics much myself, when I took them out and gave them problems to solve, mathematical problems, they innovated. They innovated well beyond what I could have. So, you say, what is the height of this tall tree? And they would start looking at different ways, and they came up with the ratio method, they came up with the Pythagoras theorem, and so they were able to actually practically explain to each other what the teacher had been trying to explain to them unsuccessfully.
My dream for higher education and for teacher education is that we don't bring teachers in and have a class on discipline and have a class on classroom reading, but we ask teachers, people that want to become teachers, to tell us what problem they want to solve.
So both the pandemic and the kind of technology growth that we're seeing, it's technology and steroids, basically tells us that schools cannot carry on with business as normal. Is that fair?
We're all here to share ideas and to share our best practices, because in our country we have always seen that change in education or innovation in education is always bottoms up, not top down. So we need to share our best practices and make good institutions which can be emulated and change the education infrastructure of our country.
Something that we spoke about in terms of entrepreneurial mindset profile. Within the profile, we were talking about personalities and skills. And the strengths that we were talking about as personality strengths talked about things like non-conformity, talked about skills like less emphasis on structure. Now, I'm just picking up these two. Very beautifully, we asked ourselves that we are talking about encouraging non-conformity and less compliance to structures, but aren't we guilty of imposing and implementing exactly this, So I think that was exciting.
Being more mindful and sensitive towards the team's strengths and conveying that, keeping in mind how they may perceive it, is something that I learned from a colleague here.
And I think as educators, we all are lifelong learners, and there's always scope for, learning and of course collaborating with the rest of the team. And just to see what other schools, magical things, because I did see some capstone projects by Inventure especially, and we've been hearing a lot about it. And I said, I think I need to know what magic is going around in these schools.
I learned a lot. I think one of the biggest things that I learned was that just having a new method or a new idea is not enough. It has to be something which is in a framework so that it can be shared.
Here's what we see as the purpose of education. Really to find that sweet spot between what you love doing, what you're good at doing, what the world needs, and what you can ideally be paid for.